Hello there, my name is Alex and welcome to my August update for Panthers Eyeshadows. And let me just tell you, today is going to be an exciting one. If you want to see some shiny pans, you have come to the right place today. Over here on this channel, we have a good time. We talk about dark grungy makeup and we also do project panning. If any of those things sound like a good time to you, then please stick around. Otherwise, I will begin with the August update. I am sure by now you are familiar with how Panthers Eyeshadows works. A lot of different creators do it and a lot of different creators do it a lot of different ways. The way I like to do it is I have all of my eyeshadows in my collection in a spreadsheet. I think it's 358 eyeshadows. There's been a lot of movement in the eyeshadow department in my collection recently, so don't quote me on the number, but I have them all in a spreadsheet and I just randomly generate a number and use that number to select the eyeshadow that I'm going to be panning. I have been cycling through 5 eyeshadows and when I hit pan I just roll a new one in. I don't have any vetoes on my eyeshadows at the minute. I think because my eyeshadow collection has some really old palettes and then quite a lot of new palettes, I'm just hungry for the pans at the minute. So I think I just really want to focus on getting a good selection of pans this year, and then maybe we can start thinking about vetoing things next year. I just wanted the pans. I really enjoy the challenge that this project brings to wearing eyeshadow, and it has certainly introduced me to the world of colourful eyeshadow, and let me tell you, I don't think I'll ever look back. I absolutely love a colourful eyeshadow now, and I think it just started at the start of the year when I managed to end up with the 1 or 2 or 3 greens or blues that were in my collection. And that's what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to force me to be more creative with eyeshadow, and here I am today sat in front of you with a purple and blue eyeshadow look, which I just never would have dreamed of doing last year. So the project has served its purpose, and for that reason I really love it. Just realised that I needed to go and get my notes. I'm very excited with this month's update. We do have 2 new pans. I'll leave those for the end just for a little bit of suspense, and we will be rolling 2 more new shades in today, which I'm literally beside myself with joy about. In no particular order, I'm just going to start picking up shades and talking through how it went this month. Probably best to get this one out of the way first, and my makeup's just always dirty and dusty. It's just the kind of girl that I am, so I can only apologise for that. So first we have the Yucca palette by Natasha Denona. And I always really struggle to show these palettes because the mirror doesn't bend all the way back, so you get a weird... Anyway, we're panning the shade Tipu, which is over here, I believe, and it's this lovely, like, a mustardy, grungy, greeny, yellowy colour, which is just one of my favourite types of eyeshadow to work on. This one's a little bit unfortunate in that somehow it's very similar to my skin tone. I haven't got any uses on this month. I think I saw where my successes were going to be and I sort of just narrowed in on them instead of working on Tipu. That is Tipu swatched out, and as I said, it is very similar to my skin tone. I have like an olive undertone, so it just doesn't really show up in a swatch, but it is really good for blending out eye looks around the edge to get the blend to blend into my skin. It is the perfect colour for that. The only thing is that if you overwork it even in the slightest sense, it does start to get a little bit of a grey cast then, which then isn't very good. So I did say that if I continue to struggle with the shade, I would just roll it out just because I'm not enjoying it. However, I just haven't had any uses on it this month at all, just because I was focusing on other things because I felt like I would get that pan on those. So we're going to keep Tipu in for now. I will show you what it was looking like last month, but obviously it's not going to have changed from last month to this month because I haven't touched it. Our next shade that we're going to talk about is in the Vampirism palette by Jolie Beauty, and I got an opportunity to dig into this palette probably for the first time since I've owned it this month, and I did really enjoy it. The shades are, I wouldn't say they're the most pigmented eyeshadow brand on the market. I know this is one of their older palettes. I don't know if some of their newer palettes have improved, but it's a lot more of like a softer effect. But I did really enjoy working with it, and in this palette we are working on the shade Michael down here, which is sort of like a mauvey sort of soft grey colour. And again, it's another one of those colours that's really good for blending out the edge of a look. And I really found that if I put this down first kind of like as a lid setting shade, which honestly sounds obscene because look how grey it is, but if I just sort of do it as a lid setting shade around the perimeter of the look and then blend into that using it as like a blender medium, I tend to get a more sort of like dark grungy-fied look. We did roll this in last week, and I've just said I've been really enjoying it, but I have only actually got 3 uses on it this month, but that's okay because I've really found its purpose, and Jodie Beauty shadows are just so soft. And then again, it's another one that's kind of similar to my skin tone. Obviously that shows up a lot better on my hand than the other one does, but that's Michael. We're loving having him in the project. We do have a little bit of a dip forming there, and I will just show you what it was looking like last month compared to this month as well, so that should be on the screen now. So yeah, 3 uses on Michael this month, but that's okay. I've definitely found out how it works, and again, that's another reason that I love this project so much, is that you do actually get to know all the eyeshadows in your collection eventually, because it encourages you to play with the palette that the eyeshadow is in as well as the eyeshadow itself, so you get to sort of get a bit more of an intimate understanding of your eyeshadow collection and know exactly what to reach for what purpose, etc. That is Michael. I think this is going to be a bit more of a long haul product in the project, and this is from the Cosmic Brushes Muse palette, and we are working on the shade Fig in this palette, which is just this little guy down here. So a lovely sort of deep berry, the perfect autumnal shade. And I know that we are still in August at the minute. I think I'm recording this on the 31st of August, so we are still in August at the minute, but the vibes here in the UK have switched like that. Like, the autumnal vibes are creeping in faster than we dare to think about. And though I do enjoy autumn, I am a summer girly, and it's always bittersweet autumn for me, because that means the summer's over, the winter's come in, and the days are getting shorter and colder, and I'm not about that life. Back to the point, I think Fig is going to be probably in this project to the end of the year. I probably won't hit pan on this because it's such a deep pigmented shade. There's just no way that I'm ever going to use enough of it to hit pan. There are a couple of looks that I want to try with it. I'd want to do like a big, like deep dark smoky eye with this as like the darkest colour. So I do still have plans for Fig, and I am enjoying having it in the project. It is a stunning colour. So just quickly show you what it was looking like last month and what it was looking like this month. And Fig, how many uses did we get on Fig? So we just got 2 uses on Fig this month, which brings it up to 7 uses in the project total, but that's okay. And it is also kind of similar to an eyeshadow that I have in another project that I'm doing. It is a lot deeper and a lot more black based than the eyeshadow that I'm panning in my deck of panning project, which I will link in the cards for you. It's a lot deeper. I'll just swatch it out now for you. It's a lot deeper than the eyeshadow that I'm panning in that project, but there are similarities and they could be used for the same thing in certain looks. And I do really enjoy the shade, and as I said, I'm looking forward to getting into it more now that autumn has dropped here in the UK. That leaves our 2 pans that we have, and would you believe we have a pan in Cosmic Brushes Serenity palette? And this is very exciting because this palette has been in the project from the beginning of the year, not because of this shade, but because it got selected twice randomly in the random number generation. Unless it gets rolled in again after this, Serenity is leaving this project for the first time this month. And as you can see, we were working on the shade Serenity in the Serenity palette. I know it's a bit confusing, but as you can see, we've got a shiny pan on it there. So Serenity got rolled into the project in February. So that is a good sort of like 9 months worth of working on this eyeshadow. And this month, I did say in my last video that I was going to try and focus on Serenity and get her moving because she's been around a long time. And obviously I was successful. So I got 7 further uses on Serenity, and I'm actually wearing her today. And that is the look that I got the pan on. And so I got 7 uses on Serenity, and that meant we used her 28 times in the project in total to hit pan on her. And there it is, that's a shiny pan. And I will just switch now to some close-ups of the palette throughout its journey with us over the last few months. I don't think I will have video footage of the start because I changed it up part way through. So I'll just start with when the video started. But yeah, there's our shiny pan in Serenity, and this palette is getting very battered, so I'm glad to give it a bit of a rest because it has really certainly been dug into this year, and I have really also been enjoying a lot of the other shades in the palette as well this year, so I'm glad that we can potentially be putting Serenity to rest. So that's Serenity there, and she's going. Our final pan is, this was a bit of a surprise for me, so I've got my Beauty Bay Rich palette in this project as well. And this pan was a bit of a surprise for me. I thought that it was going to take way longer. I have heard that it is easy to hit pan on Beauty Bay eyeshadows, but this was like, whoa. So I was using this the other day, and I like put my finger in, and a lot of the pan like just slid away because the eyeshadow was just so thin across most of the bottom of the pan. So I have had to like pack it back in a little bit into place. So again, we've got a bit of a lumpy bumpy situation, but there we are. Crown has a pan on it, and let me tell you, the pan was a lot bigger when what happened. So I've packed everything back in the best I can, and we've still got a little bit of a pan showing there, which is very exciting. We got 10 uses on Crown this month. We got 17 uses on the eyeshadow in total before we hit pan, so that isn't too bad. So I guess it is true what they say about Beauty Bay eyeshadows. Maybe we can roll a couple more in and get some more juicy pans on these palettes. I am going to miss Crown because it was the perfect, just one and done, easy peasy eyeshadow shade to get through. Just whack it on your lid, and it was a very flattering shade for me. I love these sort of like bronzy twinkly shimmers as a one and done, but we've got to keep the project moving, so we can't just be dwelling on these things. So it is time for Crown to go. So I will just show you what Crown was looking like throughout this project, and then a quick update and a quick close-up of how she was looking this month as well. And I will just swatch that out for you real quick. So that is it swatched out for you. So that is our old colour story. And now we are going to head on to our new one. So I'm just going to get my laptop set up over here. We're just going to open up a random number generator. So we've got 64 and we got 286. Okay, so we're keeping the Cosmic Brushes Serenity palette in. And we're also rolling in another Cosmic Brushes palette. And we're keeping the Muse palette in as well. Oh, that's not very exciting, is it? Okay, well, at least I don't have to go and fetch them. Would it be Pan those eyeshadows without the Serenity palette in it? We have rolled in Odyssey. Oh, okay. So Odyssey, I thought she was going to get a rest, but she's not having a rest this year, sorry. So we've now rolled in Odyssey, which is this gorgeous, like sort of twinkly sort of topper shade. It's like a golden sort of champagne-y twinkly topper shade. Look at that. Look at that flip. I love that shade as like an inner corner highlight. So I think that's going to go down very well. And yeah, I mean, I do this is one of my like older palettes in my collection, so I'm glad that it is getting a lot of use on it. So yeah, that is Odyssey. And then in the Cosmic Brushes Muse palette, oh, excellent, we've drawn the shade Ambient, which is this sort of like brown to green flip sort of duochrome sort of shade. I don't know if that's gonna show for you. So, oh yeah, no, it's more like a blue to brown flip actually. So that might be my new one and done eyeshadow shade, especially for the autumn, and deepening that with Fig. Okay, so let me just swatch out the new colour story for you. That is our old colour story, and this is our new colour story. And I think this is giving autumnal cohesion on every level. The panning gods wanted me to start panning some cohesive colour stories. Like, I think I could put all of these into a look together and it would look pretty nice. So that is everything. Thank you ever so much for watching. I really appreciate having you here. Those of you who have subscribed already, I see you and I appreciate you, and thank you for being here on this little silly internet makeup journey with me. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time for the September update of Pan Those Eyeshadows. And I'm hoping we can get some movement on these, and hopefully we'll get a new pan in next month as well. But really pleased with what we've rolled in, and until next time, do take care. Thank you. Bye.